Got him, bitch. Don't you know that you gotta be polite to people in this society? Because if not, this is what happens tonight.
Diego, don't come back here. We have guns and we will shoot you.
Kelly? That you? Oh, I got a little bonus. Got a little package deal. But I'll tell you what, tonight, I'm gonna release the beast on the both of you fucking lame bitches. It's my right, granted to me by the newfound fathers.
Welcome back to the Haddonfield Horrors Podcast, where we review horror movies and horror franchises. I'm Mark.
I'm Tawan.
I'm Elian.
And today we're reviewing Purge Anarchy, released in 2014, written and directed by James DeMonaco. Elian, can you give the people the plot summary?
One night per year, the government sanctions a 12-hour period in which citizens can commit any crime they wish, including murder, without fear of punishment or imprisonment. Leo, a sergeant who lost his son, plans a vigilante mission of revenge during his mayhem. However, instead of death-dealing avenger, he becomes an unexpected protector for innocent strangers who desperately need his help if they have to survive that night.
Okay, The Purge 2, by far, 10 times better than the first one. Because, this is what I wanted from the first one. I wanted to see, you can't introduce this concept where all crime is legal and free, including murder, and then give me some claustrophobic movie.
But
That made no sense. It was a basic home invasion movie with a great concept that we didn't see. But when you get to this one, it's like, okay, there are people being just murdered on a street, and then you got the perverts being perverts, which was the part I didn't even really think about, but I guess that makes sense. But this is what the first movie should have been, and this movie saves the franchise for me. This movie was like make it or break it. I feel like that was the point for everyone. What do you guys think? What are you guys' thoughts on Purge 2?
for me, I'm gonna say this because I kind of want to defend it a little bit, the first Purge, because I also do agree. But the only reason why I would contradict your reasoning is just because there was a follow-up movie to this. If the Purge itself was just by itself that way, it would have been a shitty ass movie but with a good idea. But what I don't know. I see it like this. I see the first one, like obviously they are a wealthy family, even though they are basically being invaded because they try to help someone else. They still had it easier in a sense, or like you could see that their life would have been easier, and they had all like the protection they needed if they didn't help. Compared to if you see the Purge 2, we see a different viewpoint. We can see that the rich have it better than the poor. Obviously, it's going to happen all the time, but you can see how dangerous and how awful it is from one's perspective. That's the only reason why I do love the Purge 2 much more than the Purge 1, but all I'm saying is if the Purge itself was just by itself, it would have been a shitty movie. I do like that we're seeing a different perspective, and it's more relatable in a sense.
I wasn't here to discuss the first movie last week, but I do prefer this one over the first one. While, introduce the initial concept of the Purge, just like how the others mentioned, it really didn't give much to the idea of the actual Purge happening, because it was essentially just a home invasion movie, which that could happen in any type of situation. So it happening during the Purge wasn't specifically special in a sense because of it. So this one exploring giving us these converging stories and it happening in the city, and we are seeing what actually goes down during the Purge was a better POV, and definitely should have been the first movie, like Mark said, and it was just a much needed improvement over the idea, and I think the way they went about the stories converging together with the different groups that we kind of had, having kind of a rebel group as well who were anti-Purge, in addition
Like an
to
open world. We finally got to see the world of the country and like, during the purge.
yeah, and like seeing how the government is like playing a part in all this stuff, and what the rich people are doing during the purge and all that stuff. So it was a lot of. Well, I will say it was a lot. Well, let me bring it back. So, well, I will say it definitely showed us what was going on. It definitely planted seeds as well for the future installments that we eventually get to. In addition to just, it was a little bit not like overloaded, but they showed a lot. They gave us a lot to work with. I guess you could say. I didn't think it was like an overload of it, but like just it was just a lot going on.
I will say my favorite part was actually the ending with the big daddy killer government man when he was like, we're out here doing this because less people are dying or committing, less people are purging, and that was kind of like interesting. It's like when you could just commit crime once a year, like any crime you want to commit, like I never thought like, oh, people might get bored with that, or like
Nah.
it might not be interesting. I was like, oh, are people like, are they just bored of purge, or it's like, or it could also be like, well, I purged everybody on my purge list, and now I pretty much got nothing else to do, so I'm gonna just bunker in for the purge next year. So it's just like I never thought like the purge, but people will be purging less. I never thought that would ever be a possibility, given like we're better off pretty much. Besides, like you can't kill certain government officials or whatever. So it's just like, huh, okay, that was kind of interesting, even though it was like the end of the movie. But it kind of was unexpected for me.
I will mention it was a bit that bit was interesting how like essentially like the government essentially was putting out more people to increase the death tolls, which I mean if it was real, that would definitely be happening. I'm just saying, but that's just me. But
A hundred
um,
percent.
yeah, all I know is I wouldn't be here. Actually, did y'all? Well, did y'all ask what you would be doing during the purge last episode?
Did
I
we?
did, but I was still I did. Remember, because I said, because you said that you would purge if you have to, and then I said I will be bunkered down alone because I wouldn't be able to trust not even my partner on purge night.
Girl,
Because
bye.
remember
Never
you,
trust a love interest.
and that's also what you also said, girl, by last last week. Because I was like, I want to be alone, bunkered then away from everybody, including my partner, because like, what if I've been just like slowly pissing him off all year? Like, those little things start to build up, and then no purge night happens, and I'm thinking I'm bunkered down with Big, and then boom, he didn't took my ass out. So I
Now,
wouldn't
okay,
be purging because I don't think I'd make it. So I got
now that you
Girl,
see
bye.
how it is outside and what the government is doing, like in universe, like for the movies, does that change what you would be doing
oh,
at all?
it does change. It does change because I won't be bunkered in. I would be off on a cruise that left a month before. Give me one of them 2 month long cruises and I'm gone. I won't be here. I will see you guys after the purge. And I already got my cruise booked for the next 3 years. I'm done. Goodbye.
No facts. Like if obviously, if I'm sure most people had the option, they would leave before they could
Hmm.
before it happens, or like I would have just like me and my family. I'm sure if like some shit like if they enacted that, like we'd have moved out the country. We didn't even be in this bitch at all. Fuck all that.
Yes, we gotta go. Like
But
Canada,
it,
here I come. Mexico, like we're gone.
yeah, but if let's say I had like there was no option to leave per se, I really don't know what I'll do. Now probably would try to do, go to do like a like probably would have built like a panic room of sorts in the house. Pulled all the family money to build a panic room, like
Yes,
and bunkering that bitch for the whole time. And then while inside of there,
and we got to build it
um,
up. We got to build it ourselves, though.
yeah, like some shit like that. And then besides that, while in the bunker, let me get with some hackers online so we could steal some money since it's legal.
Oh, yes, TV. That's smart. Yes, that I can do. That I will be behind. What about you, Elion? Like seeing the purge in action on the street level. Would your opinion change from last week? Would you purge or would you be safe?
It depends.
Now it depends.
It
Really?
depends because like what if I really hate the bitch that did me dirty? Like I gotta find that hoe, and if she's purging, I'll make sure I put an Apple tag on that hoe the day before.
Now, what if somebody
Anyways,
gets you
And
beforehand? See, you got to think about
at that
hey,
everything.
point,
yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I'll
Because
be
they,
sneaky. I
you
know I'm not
see,
being dirty, but
you
shit.
see, they
same
were
thing you
setting
said last
traps.
week.
They were setting traps in the streets. They had the machine guns whirling up. The motherfuckers on
That's the
Okay,
same
but
thing
buggies.
hold on,
I
hold
asked
on,
them
hold
last
on, hold
week.
on, hold on. If I had the resources needed in order to survive, of course I'd purge. But if not, you'll see my sexy ass in a nice, beautiful beach in Ecuador, nice and warm for a whole week.
I need 2 weeks. I need to give y'all time to clean up the bodies and like all that.
That is true. Think about it. How many bodies are out there, and how long does it take?
And like how traumatized are the cleaning? I do remember from the Purge TV show. I do think I think season two shows like
So how does that
it's
movie work? So like, is the whole season just one night, literally?
season one was all just like the Purge night. Season two, I didn't finish season two, but season two starts with like the aftermath of the Purge. So it's the day like the alarm just went off, the laws are just coming back, and then that's season two. It's like this is what happens when the Purge ends. And I didn't finish it, but it was definitely like weird seeing cleaning people come in and like having to move bodies and clean up blood and like how it was just weird. I'm just like, I can't. I need to give y'all a week to clean the bodies and then I'll be back. I'm still using my PTO. Goodbye. But Tuan, Elian, what do you guys have any scenes or kills that stood out for you guys?
Uh, Scenes and kills. I feel like I think one scene that stood out for me is when like the mother and daughter were basically being abducted, and like it's not really much to the eye, but it just like I like this purge itself because and Mark and I were talking about it prior. Like even though it was a family, you really like there was like no connection to characters at all. At least this at least this scene in the purge 2, it actually allows us to feel or empathize with the character. That's one thing. That's what I like. It's like there's connection in this one compared to the first one. Um, Another thing that I really liked was kind of more of like the ending where you kind of see like, the rich literally don't have to do anything. They can hire people to kill these people. They bought in their auction but like it's obvious like, at the end survival of the fittest, like if I wanting to live, I will live, especially, even though the guy was a sergeant himself, it's just like they did everything they could, like his like the little group just to make sure they are alive and it intimidated the rich.
For me, it's the scene where old girl shot her sister and her husband.
Get back.
Was rooting for
Right?
her.
Y'all are crazy for
It's
that.
like,
That
I
scene was
totally forgot about that.
crazy.
dude, to be
But
fucking my husband is one thing, sis.
imagine.
But to get drunk and then grope him in front of me and in front of other people, oh, you have to die. Like I was rooting for her. Like shoot that bitch.
That
It
is
wasn't even that
crazy.
cute.
Oh, that's right.
I was
Imagine that, thinking you saved.
Not rooting for her.
We was rooting for you. We was
like
all
shoot her.
rooting for you.
Like shoot her again. Like don't you
The shooter
like
again is crazy,
what,
Mark.
grabbing him in front of me, in front of these people, you drunk fool. Y'all gotta die. Bye. Goodbye. Boom. I was like, yes. And then the other thing that kind of stood out for me and the kill. You know, when Leo was driving down the street. Now it's I wouldn't have stopped. I'm so sorry. It got nothing to do with me. I'm so sorry. I would have
Well, you have
kept
to, yeah.
driving. Why are
Well, you
you
have to understand.
stopping?
No, you have to understand. Even though like it's not his business, he actually feels that pain because it's a parent and their
Yeah,
child. He
I
lost
get
his
that.
kid.
But that bitch should have been out there with that kid. I'm so sorry. I would, that would have not been me. Um,
Well, they had no choice. They were dragged, literally dragged out of their
um,
homes.
and a kill that stood out only because I saw it coming, but I saw it coming differently. Is when the husband died. Because I knew one of them was gonna die, but I kind of thought it was gonna be her.
It's always got to be the man.
But then he died, and then she was like, "I want to purge," and I was like, "Girl, please, you you wait for to make it." And then the last kill that's the last like scene or kill that stood out for me was the grandpa because like he just gave himself up for a couple
That
million
was, oh
dollars.
my God, that
And
was
That
so
was gonna
good.
be my scene.
I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh
I
my
forgot
god!"
about the grandpa.
yeah. I
That was
thought
so good.
that was fucked. Like, I'm like, damn, and like that was really fucked. Like when you saw what he was doing, like, damn. It's like because shit like that will be happening. That's the crazy part. It's like if it was a real situation, like like some people would do that for their families or something. It's like, damn, that's so fucked.
Not just like it shows how fucked up even like you're like the poor will never have the opportunity that the rich have. They have to do like literally they had to sacrifice themselves like lands in order to have their families alive.
Why these
But also
motherfuckers? They made nice, clean ass houses with tarp and shit.
right with
Right?
Carson and shit. But also thinking of it the other way, like it's also people probably out there like selling their like sick parent or sick
Oh
True.
my
child to
God.
be
Don't
heard.
think of I don't even want to think about that because that does
See, but
happen too.
but see, this is what this movie allows you to do because we weren't seeing all this in that first movie. Like thinking about that kind of stuff didn't really make any sense. All we saw in that first movie was like rich people and spoiled kids being, spoiled brats about shit. Like, oh, I'm gonna kill you because you made me buy this $10 million security protection from the purge, and because you have that money, you can build onto your house. I'm gonna kill you. Like that was all like petty rich people BS. But like
The one thing I don't understand is like they're rich. Why do they care? Like I
I
know
rich
maybe
mean,
y'all
people,
got
we see
rich
how
people
petty rich
don't.
people are IRL.
Yes, rich
true.
people don't want rich people to flaunt their money in like their face. Like y'all can all be rich together, like in silence. But if you start showing it off in front of me, now I'm jealous. 'Cause,
If
like,
I had, I'm gonna be so honest. If I had if I was rich and this shit happened to me, and I had I'm like, I'm already destined to die. I'd be like, shit, y'all some broke
mm,
bitches.
like I don't know, but like, yeah, yeah, they would definitely be people out there. Like, yeah, no, my kid has this, so I'm just gonna, a couple billion, a couple million, and they're yours for purge night. Like, it's just you could see that stuff happen. I don't know that scene like was kind of sad because I could see that happening, but I can also see like someone also just being like, "Take my mother," she has Alzheimer's. Take my kid. Like it's a weird shit out there. Like, and then the scene with the pervert guy, I'm like, that shit would be happening. Like I don't know why it
Yes,
wasn't like, but that would be happening. Like there'd be some
I
like,
wish, I wish he had a worse death. To be fair, honestly, that was
yeah.
so stupid.
But then I also think there's people are probably out there like doing that to like kids and shit too. It's like
It's
this
nasty. Yes,
movie. This movie was like because like saying in the first movie that all crime is legal is one thing, but then when you see it in this movie, it's like okay, what the fuck?
Hmm.
What about you, Twine? Any more scenes or kills stick out for you?
Um, the only kill that left, I would say, like slight of an impact was near the end when um Warren, who Leo was gonna kill, and it like killed the um, like I called him Big Daddy. I hate that.
Oh my.
Um, but Warren like ended up killing him, and Leo didn't kill Warren, even though I
I don't know. Like, I totally forgot. Was there any monologue or no?
no, it
Or was
wasn't
it?
nothing after that. Warren took them to the hospital and shit after that, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like after all that, I feel like Leo went through a lot. I feel like he could have got it, but I mean the ending worked, but I feel like after everything Leo went through, he might as well just pop, bro.
I swear to
That's
God.
that's just me though.
Well, let's move on to the characters. Let's start with the married couple, Shane and Liz. Now, as I said in the scene section, I kind of knew that one of them was gonna die, but I thought Liz was gonna die for some reason. But also, I felt so bad for them because, like, y'all should have went to the grocery store earlier. Like, y'all know what day it was, bitch. Y'all
That's
should have got
what
this shit
I'm
done.
saying. Oh my god!
I'm gonna tell you this. I'd rather die starving for a whole night
Like, girl, it's
than
one
go
night.
out.
It's one night. Like, it's 12 hours. Like, I could have no food for the next 12 hours. Like, come on.
You
Just
want
drink
to
some
start that
fucking
diet anyway? Might
water,
as
bitch.
well.
I'm pretty sure y'all had something that y'all could have made some kind of meal out of. There was no
Like,
need because
you
I
want
was
no
like,
chips in the
oh,
crib? Like,
and it
it's
was
giving
so
sandwich.
obvious,
No little pretzels. No little cute little
but it was
pretzels.
also
Like,
so obvious that something happened to the car. I was like they did something to your car, and you should probably check this. Like you're
yeah, and
cutting
like,
it too close.
exactly. That's my thing. It's also like, if we know the purge is going on, and like something like somebody standing in a car on watch, and somebody going inside because
And
we don't know
like
what's going on.
look, and then if you needed groceries, it's 12 hours. But go get a PB&J and loaf of bread and
Like,
go your ass back home.
go
Like
to go to McDonald's, go to somewhere, get a couple burgers. It lasts you the night.
go
I
to
think
White
McDonald's will
Castle
be
and get a
closed
Crave
that
case.
day.
No, go to White Castle, get you a Crave case, and get a bunch of other sides. You're gonna feel the pain the next day, but you'll be alive the next day. Like
Like
they were
Oh my
annoying
God.
me.
like they
And
would
then the
that like that
bickering.
it just pissed me off. That like all that like that pissed me off.
And honestly, their introductory being so dumb kind of like ruined them for me the entire movie. Like I'm like, oh, they're getting back together, but I was like, no, they stupid. One of them has to die for being stupid. But I thought
No,
it was gonna
for
be her.
real.
I
Cause
thought it was gonna be her.
yeah, cause like when they were in the car initially, it it was like 2.5 hours before the purge was about to happen, and y'all trying to get groceries.
That is crazy.
Cause
And I,
I remember it because old girl
I
who worked
know
at the
damn well that
diner.
bitch got some. I know that bitch got some like little cute little pretzel crackers inside that little drawer.
they
Like
Cause
do
I
I
have,
know. Yeah.
and like y'all could have ran to Walgreens, a gas station, go get some chips,
Some
get a fucking
Arizona.
get a lunchable, get a Salisbury steak. Like, what are you doing? Why are you
I feel just
acting?
rich people just don't know good
No,
shit.
but they aren't rich though. That was the whole thing. I'm like, you don't have the protection to be outside. You're probably middle class at best. Like, get back. Y'all can still get divorced. But like, why are you at the grocery store 2 hours before the purge, and then you don't stop at a grocery store closer to your house?
and then
At
tried
the
calling AAA like they about to pop out.
at the very least, it needs to be at least a 15-minute walk from my house to the grocery store. We're going to the closest store that we possibly can, or we're going to a gas station, or we're just going home and we'll drink water all damn night. Like, I don't
That is
like I don't understand. They
some
were
bitches are
annoying
just
me.
crazy.
And then they weren't even fighting. And also, if I was Leo, when I got in my car and I saw them in the car, I would have shot them. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, who are
Like
you
on some
people?
real
Like, what?
stuff, yeah.
Get out of the car, or I will shoot you. Not bringing without any weapons, please. I will shoot you. Move out of the car now. No, we're not out. Get out of the car. Hands up.
Wait. We have to go. We have to go.
Like, I'm sorry, like, either y'all get the fuck out right now or y'all both getting dinged.
Because I don't know y'all. Like, why are y'all in here? Like, these other two people I saved, I don't know who y'all are. Like, get out of my out of my truck right now. And because they kind of had their own little story of like
Divorce.
rebuilding their relationship, the divorce, they kind of felt disconnected from the other characters. Like I never really felt for them like at all. It was like nothing there.
Hmm.
Let's move on to Eva and Callie, the mother and daughter duo. Now, starting off with them already, like the grandpa sacrificing himself because he's sick, and he's getting money to help them out, and I kind of already knew something was up when we saw that bald headed dude being all weird. Like, let me come up there
Hmm.
and protect you tonight. I was like, oh, this is gonna be bad. They're gonna have a bad night. Now, again, it's always the kid who's like, let's go do this. Like, let's go and save Grandpa. Like, he gone. What are you talking about? Like, why are we outside dodging bullets and shit? And then I thought one of them was gonna die. Actually, I was thinking that like we had like these two we have four tag alongs. We have two duos, the married couple and the mom and daughter. I thought we were gonna lose one each.
I didn't think that for those two.
I didn't
The
honestly.
couple
I
I
thought
did. For those two, I didn't.
Really? I thought they were gone. So
Nah, I
you know,
didn't think so.
no.
Because I feel like
oh
those,
well.
they were. I feel like they were meant to be like a redemption arc for Leo. So it wouldn't have made sense for one of them to die.
Oh, I didn't even see it that way. I didn't even think about that. Huh. Well, go ahead, Juan. Take it away. What are your thoughts on Eva and Callie?
Honestly, Callie was annoying me with all her asking questions and shit. Like when she was first in the car with Leo, and like he was like I think he asked the couple like, "What are you guys like doing out right now?" And then Callie was,
What about you? What were you doing outside?
"Girl, what do you mean? He just saved you. Like, girl, I'm gonna be honest, he could just pop you right now. Like, be real. Like, shut the fuck up." Like, girl, you kept talking. Or when I think it was Diego broke into the apartment and like was trying to like get assault him, like I mean her and her mom, and she's
Diego, don't come back here. We have guns and we will shoot you.
Kelly?
why did why did you say anything? You just told her where you were. Like obviously he was gonna walk through the apartment and everything, but I don't know. They could have maybe got the jump on him or something or anything, but like she just like yelled out and I'm like, what? I don't know. Like Callie's kind of pissed me off a little bit.
The kids always annoy me. Granted, she's less annoying than the kids in the first two because
Yeah.
that little boy was pissing me off the entire movie. But she was just being annoying. I'm like, why are you questioning the man who just saved your life? He saved your life. I don't care if he was
Especially
purging
on
the
Purge
whole
Night.
city.
On Purge Night of
Yes, I
anything, like
don't
this man could get tired of you and turn around
like
and blick the rest of y'all.
And you know what we would have said? I get it.
facts, 100%. She- Also, I'm just like, what are you doing out here? That's not your business.
Mind your
Exactly.
business. Bitches be so
What
nosy.
what he didn't do out here
Will
was
shoot
kill you.
you.
He saved
Exactly.
you. So like shut up. Like the mom like lady put your foot down and just like slap this girl one time, please. Like tell her to shut up before everybody died. Like but the mom was smart though. The mom was like, well, I have a friend. I think we can purge. I think we can like sit this out with her. You know, they're always
And look
safe.
what happened. Look what
Little,
happened.
I mean, it's not her fault that her friend was fucking like the brother-in-law, and the sister had enough. Again, I was rooting for the sister. Shoot her again, like pop, pop. Like I support that. You know, she was always thinking, and I was like, her and Leo will be cute together or whatever. But that was just me. Well, Elian, what do you think of Camilio Jones, the leader of the anti-purge group?
We no longer worship at the altar of Christ, Mohammed, Yahweh. We worship at the altar of Smith and Wesson. We, the people, know not what we do.
Horse shit.
He is voicing his concerns and he's actually taking action. But aside from the clip, like the beginning clip where we're introduced to him, and then only seeing him at the end, there's really not much I can say besides he's just playing the role that he's supposed to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of thought that he was gonna have a bigger role, especially since it was Michael K. Williams. Like, I thought he was gonna have a bigger role for what to do. I mean, it's good to know, like, in universe, which I feel like that's kind of a given. There will obviously be like an anti-group to whatever's happening, but it was good to know that there was like a group that was trying to look out for people and like alert them to what's going on, that kind of thing. So that that like aspect of it is good and is also very believable as well. Like, you definitely would have like that type of thing going on like IRL if it was happening. So I found that to be pretty good, but you really didn't get too much into his character though. To be quite
You
honest,
know what, Twan? His character upset me, and it was making me mad the entire movie
why was that?
because it shouldn't have been him. The entire
Huh?
every scene he was in, I just kept on saying, "This should just be the stranger. It should be someone that we
No,
kind of
you're
like.
right.
It should be the stranger." And then when we did see the stranger later on in the movie, I'm like, "Then why the fuck is this guy here? This should have just been him from the get go, like
No, you're
leading
right.
the charge."
That would have
Because
made more sense.
it would
Okay,
make more
okay.
sense because like,
No, okay. You know how he's entering like the building, like that scene where he's shooting. I felt like the acting
mhm.
was really bad there.
Yeah, that was kind of questionable.
Like everything else was fine. It was just that one particular scene, which is like, what?
But like, yeah, like I was kind of shocked of the whole like anti-purge movement, but I was like, yeah, no, that kind of makes sense. But it's just like that character itself, it's just distracting to me because it just clearly it should have been a stranger, and then clearly he thought about that because he popped up in the fucking movie anyway. So it just I don't know. It kind of just it just made him like, why is he here? Why you?
I get what you mean, I definitely do agree. Like, for continuity purposes, and secondly, just after what happened in the first movie, it would have made a little more sense for it to be him. Um, and I would have liked that better because in the end of it, we really didn't get much from Michael K. Williams as being Carmelo.
We didn't, and again, it should have been a stranger only because like he's the only character from the first movie to appear in this one. So it also just like again what you said, like connectivity. It would have just made a little more sense.
Yeah,
Oh, it was the same person, but just different role.
No, it was the same character and the same actor. He just popped up for like a quick little scene, but he was with Carmelo.
Oh, I didn't even see that part.
It's a fast scene. It's like, oh,
Oh,
it's
that's funny.
him, and then it just kind of just like goes away, and it's just like, I guess. But let's move on to Leo, the Purge Knight Savior. What are your thoughts on Leo?
I
save
feel bad for
me,
him.
save me.
Goodbye.
Facts. Because I could have some good Purge Night plans with him, in the privacy of our own bunker. I might have to break my.
Leo Leo's a good character though. I mean, like, this is like one of those roles that like Frank Grillo is like good for. Like, just gruff guy like with a vengeance who like that kind of like that role, like it fits perfectly for like his archetype, to be quite honest.
I really
And
do
listen here.
appreciate you being kind to my man. Like those are really
And
nice
listen,
words.
listen. I have been obsessed with Frank Grillo. Twan, you know I love me a former soap opera actor. You know, Frank Grillo
Yeah,
was he was on Guiding Light. He was the third person to play his character. He played it for like 3 years until his character got shot by his crazy ex-wife. It was, very sad, very sad. I've always loved me some Frank Grillo. That's why I watch every movie he in. And I was like, I'm glad he a hero this time because he was a bad guy in Captain America, shooting niggas. But he was still shooting niggas in this movie, but he was shooting bad people.
Yeah.
And I felt so sad when we finally find out like why he trying to purge. I was like, damn, why does movie keep trying to give us sad moments during all this killing? I'm like, I
Because
don't.
because we empathize with why he's doing it. That's why.
It was good though, and then he gave up his revenge in the end to save the girl, and I was like,
See,
it
now
made
he's
me,
better than me.
it made me hate her more.
That girl irritated me.
That bitch. Any more Tawan besides you want to be saved by Frank Grillo?
You got
um,
watch your back, Twan.
not much else on him. Like I feel like
Hmm.
his character was a good fill in for what was kind of needed here and connecting the other like stories together because it kind of gave him like I said a bit earlier, like especially with Eva and Callie, kind of gave him a bit of like sort of redemption arc. And I don't know, like I feel like they was trying to make it seem like that situation gave him second thoughts on what happened at the end with the whole Warren situation. So um yeah, I think it worked, and he was good in this role.
You know, when I saw this in theaters and low key, when I watched it earlier today, because I haven't seen it in a while, I think since theaters, both times I was convinced for a good chunk of the movie that was a fucking kid from the first movie. And I was like, oh, we did a huge flash forward,
You
and
funny as hell.
now here go the kid from the first movie.
You thought he was Frank Grillo?
So I was thinking that it was gonna be like, why you out here purging? And I thought it was gonna be like, I purge every night because when I was a kid, I got my father killed trying to. But then when we saw the stranger, I was like, oh, it can't be too far in the future because that man is still young.
I
So I was
can't.
like, oh, so this is not the annoying kid from the first movie.
You funny as hell.
Not so era.
I just, I was just trying to connect it to the first movie as much as I possibly could, and. I
And look at
mean,
you not doing so.
mean, it would have made sense a little, but the only connectivity we have outside of it being the purge is the stranger. So I guess, I don't think they care that much.
I
But
guess.
what are you guys' thoughts on the purgers? The Ghoul Gang and Big Daddy slash the New Founding Fathers. I just want to say the New Founding Fathers are they trifling. Like, what are y'all doing? I got these big ass guns. Like, y'all ain't giving folks a chance. If the purge isn't working, then you obviously cut this shit. Like, I'm sorry. You don't got to get grimy with it. But what about you guys? What are you guys' thoughts on the overall purgers?
One thing I do know
Uh,
that this movie did, with especially having like the groups of purges in this movie, is give us like the most basic Halloween costumes ever. Like for Continuum, I was so tired of seeing purge Halloween costumes.
I was sick of it for like almost like 10 years, almost until the pandemic. I think the pandemic saved us from the purge costumes because
Well, we
I
got a
was
sixth
sick of
one
it.
coming out because
Ah,
it's coming back. Maybe it's coming back, but
oh, please, God.
yeah, I mean, yeah, the founding father group, that yeah, like Mark said, trifling as fuck. Like going out and getting rid and like killing people off to increase the body count because
They were
people
bored.
were killing less.
We make things manageable for us. Unfortunately, the citizens aren't killing enough. So we supplement it all to keep things balanced. It's important work the NFFA does, and we can't have any interference. Can't have heroes. Oh no, sir. No hero.
Crazy work. Like crazy ass work. Oh, that was so wild. Like when you find that out in there, I'm like, yo, because like at first when I was watching, I'm thinking they were trying to like capture them for like trafficking purposes. Like when
I'm
I
not
was
gonna
watching,
lie. I'm not gonna lie. Like I knew it was gonna happen, but at the same time, I didn't know it was gonna happen. Like I was like, this is what these bitches do all the time. Use
like
their money. But I'm like, but at the same time, I was like, they wouldn't do that in this movie, but they did. They did.
yeah, which I guess was a little true. Like they kind of like people were being trafficked for the rich people so that they could get killed. But like I was thinking different kinds of trafficking, but um, which that probably is happening as well. I mean, it's the purge, so um,
Yeah.
yeah, but trifling as hell. And the little ghouls group, like the ghouls, whatever they were called, like with all the masks and shit, like they're just annoying. Like I was ready for their asses to get gunned down, which a lot of them did.
Was not expecting old boy from Get Out to be in this movie.
Oh, Lakeith.
Yeah, I was not. I forgot that he just be popping up in shit, and I'd be like, "Oh my god, that's him!" I was not expecting him. But also like, besides the Ghoul Gang being annoying, but going back to but then finding out what the Ghoul Gang was actually like, they knew about the founding fathers with the truck, and they were just like going behind picking up the scraps. I'm like, what the hell?
Mhm.
Like, okay, but going back to like the grandpa, like the last movie we saw, rich people killing each other trying to stay safe, but then this movie we see the rich people getting getting their purge victim, like Uber Eats purge victim style. Like, what the fuck is going on? You got this man delivered to you in a
I wonder if they
limousine?
pay the delivery like 500,000 per person they get. Because
I
that's
don't
the
even
only
know.
way y'all have
I
me
mean,
get there.
but also like you're literally just a driver. You're just picking somebody up and dropping them off. You probably don't even really well, you probably know why. But like if I'm just the driver, I'm just gonna mind my business and ask you questions. As long as you're not purging me,
I just
I'm cool.
realized, you know how when they were first spotted, they said that we found person, you know, with similar characteristics and attributes. Would that mean that the person that like was looking to kill these people were racist?
I think that's exactly what they meant.
Oh,
They had a particular type they were looking for.
Miss Show did. That's wild.
Well, come on. We have come to the end, so can you please give the people the behind the scene info and facts?
Yes, I can. So, the Purge Anarchy, keep it in with the Blumhouse method, had a budget of around $9 to $11 million, and it brought in a box office of 111.9 million. Some interesting facts: the movie features intense action sequences, including high-speed car chases, shootouts, and close-up quarters combat. The production team used a mix of practical effects and stunts to keep the action grounded and gritty, rather than relying too heavily on CGI, which I appreciated. The Purge Anarchy was a commercial success, grossing over 110 million against a budget of around 9 million. It helped to relaunch the Purge franchise, leading to further sequels and even a TV series, cementing the Purge as a popular cultural phenomenon. Zach Gilford and Keely Sanchez, who play a married couple, are a married couple in real life. The film was turned into a scare zone at Hollywood Horror Nights 2014. And a little bit of critics' reactions. The film currently sits at a 58% on Rotten Tomatoes, and one reviewer on Rotten Tomatoes said The Purge Anarchy represents a slight improvement over its predecessor, but it's still never as smart or resonant as it tries to be.
Well, enough about them. What about us? Do we cash or pass Purge Anarchy? And for me, it's 100% cash. No, if I cash the last movie, I have to cash this one because this movie is what I wanted the first one to be. We get to see more of the world. We get to see more people. The actual Purge Night street view, and kind of like when you're given the opportunity to commit heinous crimes, like what does that do to you? Like you have a revenge on your mind, but you don't know if you're really that kind of person. Like that's the kind of things I wanted from the first movie, and I'm glad that we got it here. And like that one BTS fact said, like this movie saved the Purge franchise because if this movie was just a rehash or kind of another version of that first one, we wouldn't be expecting a sixth one sometime soon. So this is 100% cash. Elian, do you cash or pass?
I'll cash just because, like, I mean, prior to this, I did watch this film. It was so much better than the first film, that's for sure. Uh, like I said, I do enjoy that they gave us a different perspective on this one, and I feel like this is more of a. I feel like this is a film that many people can relate when it comes to, like, status. But yeah, that cash.
Come on, do you cash or pass?
I will definitely cash on the Purge Anarchy. It's definitely an improvement on the first one. It actually gives what you were imagining was possibly happening. It gives that like a visual in this one, and I think that's what adds to it. And just like the little fact, like the interesting facts, that it kind of brought. Well, I wouldn't say bring back because it's only just like the second movie, but it definitely made people more interested in this as a franchise as opposed to just the first one, with the whole home invasion type of plot kind of. So I think this was a good entry. I thought Frank Grillo did a decent job. The set pieces and stuff in here were good, and yeah, I think overall I would give it a cash. I'll definitely watch this one again.
There you have it. Cash, cash, and a cash. So far, so good. But will we also be cashing the next one? Purge election year. I remember having mixed feelings about that one, but we'll find that out next week. Until then, good night.
If you like this episode, please be sure to check out some from the Haddonfield Horror Cemetery, where we've covered big franchises such as Friday the 13th, Halloween, and Saw, or one-off reviews like The Blackening or Hereditary. You can follow Haddonfield Horrors on Instagram and TikTok, where the host posts updates and mini reviews. Full episodes are available on several podcasting platforms, including Spotify, as well as YouTube. If you're listening to us on YouTube, please be sure to like and subscribe. The Haddonfield Horrors podcast is produced by Mark Smart, Tawan Griffin, and Elian Cordova, themed by Lethal Injection, and edited by Mark Smart.
The Haddonfield Horror Podcast is a Letter to Media production.
Should we do an intro?